To talk to you guys today in just a moment.
It says an error occurred. Please try again later on the preview.
That's not really fantastic. Can you log on to YouTube and see if somehow we are actually on YouTube?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, it's live on YouTube.
All right, that's good to know. Even though it told us there's an error.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't he usually have a table?
Brooks does usually have a table. Now he's going to have to just use his knees.
It's okay.
Sorry, Brooks. But this is the live, I was going to say life advice call-in show, but we've kind of turned it into the live anything you want show. We're taking calls on pretty much anything. Today's show is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you feel like you need therapy, you can get a discount on your first month by hitting up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin. And it's kind of funny because we're watching a show, Banana and I, she's watching, I'm listening, to a show called Shrinking. And one of the guys in therapy, this dude named Sean, they asked him how therapy was going. He's like, at first, I didn't like it at all. And now I'm getting into it, which is kind of how I felt about like opening up about all my stuff in the beginning when Banana met me, and I was just kind of in a quiet rage because I was not talking to anybody about my losing my eyesight. I was a grumpy dude. Right?
No comment.
That's the nice way of her agreeing. So I am a big believer in therapy, and that's why I specifically tried to find a company that I thought would be a good representation, a good help for this type of a show, and I think BetterHelp is definitely that type of thing. Some people told me to research your sponsors, and so I did. I took time this week, and I did a lot of research trying to find different people that were therapists that I connected with through LinkedIn and other people that are in therapy through BetterHelp. And one of the main things that I learned is that everybody that is a therapist, and they have more than 30,000 of them that you can be hooked up with in as soon as 48 hours, they have to be licensed, they have to be vetted, they have to have background checks. And to be licensed, it varies state by state, you actually have to go through 2 years, depending on state, 2 to 3 years of supervised therapy. So these people know what they're talking about, and I think they can help. So that is our sponsor. I am proud to have them. BetterHelp, please hit up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin for a discount on your first month. And we'll get right to the calls right now on our very first Saturday afternoon show with Pete, Banana, and Brooks.
And Skylar.
Oh, and Skylar. And who's this? Who is our first caller of the day?
Hello, Pete. Is this Pete?
Yes, It is.
Hey, it's Brian. How are you doing?
Brian, good. What's going on today?
Good. I'm doing all right. 7-mile run this morning and generally feeling good. So I have a question regarding your voice acting career and your methods of work, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Awesome. Also, coming in clearly, when I rewatched the live stream last time, my audio was kind of low. Am I good?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
I can
All
try
right,
and...
good. So when you get a piece of copy and you have, obviously you're using a screen reader, you're using JAWS or NVDA, how do you detect the meter or the tempo that you're supposed to speak at?
The tempo isn't given unless I'm working on some sort of a timed project where I get each line. Like the first line would be, like 1.6. So you'd be like, tonight on Fox. Where if it was like 2.2,
Right.
you'd be like, tonight on Fox. You kind of get a sense of that timing in your head. Generally, you just kind of hope that the person has written the piece of script to, if it's a radio piece, it's supposed to be 30, and you listen to it once, you're like, that seems kind of slow. But if you're auditioning and they don't tell you how long it is and what the SOTs are, sound on tape, if they don't, the other sounds besides you is what that is, you basically just kind of got to give it your best guess and say, I think this piece needs a nice slow tempo, or if it's a big sporting thing, you got to give it a bigger, harder read. If you're doing auditions, you kind of got to guess on your own. But if it's a paid job, they should tell you the tempo. They should tell you what they want.
Yeah, I was especially using, the screen reader with, the tempo that generally goes at. I was wondering how you can, utilize both.
Okay, so sorry, I kind of missed. Let me answer that real quick. So the screen reader always goes at a certain pace. However, I have set up a mouse with my right hand that I use, or my left hand rather, and I let the tempo go at its normal pace. It's 55 out of 100 for whatever that's worth. And then once I start to catch up to it, I will take the IntelliWheel and notch it up, which bounces it to 60 or 65. And then when I start to get too far ahead of it, when it starts to get too far ahead of me, I hit pause on the screen reader and then I resume it. So I am kind of adjusting the pace of the text to speech as it's coming through. And that took years of practice to do that on the fly. But now it's just it's like walking and chewing gum at this point.
Wow, that is having had to use like a bunch of screen readers for different things. I know the struggle of pausing it in the exact spot and resuming it. So I that's a genius system.
It's
Good job on figuring.
I definitely I needed a whole other mouse for it, so I shortcutted the IntelliWheel to the speed, and then I have a shortcut for the stop. I kind of just say it's a thing I do, but it took a good 2 years of working with it for hours a day in order to, because you're right, and I kind of missed the point of the question in the beginning. You're right. Sometimes you have to put emphasis in a point, and sometimes you need to speed through a point, and sometimes you really need to slow down. If the text to speech is always going one speed, how do you accomplish that? You're right. I am stopping and speeding up my text to speech as I go.
Huh. It's I definitely will need to try. And I assume it's the same thing when you're reading your audiobook, right? It's stopping and starting to give emphasis to certain.
The audiobook is basically the same pace for the most part, and I actually set that to a slower, like a lot of my promos, I'll be like, promo stuff is pretty quick, but when I'm doing an audiobook, I Talked to Adams, and I narrated The Skill Conspiracy, and that is speaking conversational speed. So I set that to a much slower speed than I normally would, and just tried to have a conversation with my listeners.
Nice. That's. I'll definitely pick up the audiobook if I can find it on. Because that. Huh. No,
You're gonna have to rewind back later and.
I've kerfuffled you. Yeah, it
Well,
takes a lot of practice.
Learning the method of how you. Yeah, it takes practice. It takes effort, but learning the methods of how you accomplish things, as a fellow creative or really it's just interesting to me. Second question, I guess, is what would you say was the most interesting piece of when you get a piece of copy, or sorry, let me reset real quick.
Sure.
Have you ever considered learning another language?
No, I have no aptitude for other languages. I tried for years to learn Spanish, and I am no bueno at it at all. And I didn't want to start. I'm so susceptible. Sometimes when you spend a lot of time around another person, you pick up their speaking patterns or their accents or just some of the things that they say. I feel like you've gotten a lot of my stuff. Mm-hmm. I was afraid that if I started learning another language, that it would imperfect my elocution in the English language, which I worked so hard to fix, having come from Boston, where I was PETA, and I had no idea how to talk. So I didn't want to incorporate another language that would further confuse me at all. Thank you for the calls and the questions. That is kicking off what do I call the show today? Just the Saturday afternoon show?
Call-in show.
The call-in show with Pete, Banana, and Brooks. It is brought to you by BetterHelp. Please hit betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin for a discount on your first month if you feel like you could talk to someone that would be a little more insightful and helpful than me. Hey, who's this?
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. I'm the guy from New Jersey from a couple of days ago. How are you?
Good. What's going on in New Jersey?
Nothing much. I didn't get to say everything last time when I talked to you.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I wanted to say that you're the reason why I have hope in life, because I never thought a blind person could actually do stuff. It's like, it was crazy. When I heard that you surfed, I was like, how do you surf blind? I was actually kind of surprised.
Yeah, a lot of people don't believe it, and even when they see it. Now I feel really bad that I cut you off. I try and get through as many calls as I can. I cut you off before you said the most important thing, which was, of course, the compliment to me. So sorry about that. Yeah, I think the expectations maybe for a lot of people, when you hear that someone is blind, you don't expect a heck of a lot out of them. And I think that's why when people see me out in the water, they see me catch a wave and I paddle back out, and then I'm sitting on my board and it says blind surfer on it. They're like, what? No.
Well, were you having a struggle of your own?
Well, I'm not fully blind. I'm visually impaired, and I have this disease called RP, retinitis pigmentosa.
Got it. Well, hopefully Pete has shown you that pretty much anything's possible.
Yeah. Right now I'm just on a call with my cousin right now.
Nice.
And us.
Yeah,
You're multitasking.
multitasking. I mean, look at you.
That's pretty impressive. Well, thank you for. But before we move on, I should ask this time: was there something else, or you just wanted to get that last point in that I didn't let you get in the other night?
Let me think. Oh yeah, I showed my teacher and my classmates the video of me talking to you last time, and they were really proud of me that I actually did that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's I growing up, I didn't have anybody to talk to about any of this stuff. I didn't have any role models. I didn't know anybody that was losing their eyesight, and there was a lot of things that went into me wanting to try and share these stories and talk about this stuff online, and that was one of them. I just keep thinking, how much less stressful my young life would have been if I had known someone else was going to be able to accomplish things or do things, or I could ask questions, or I feel like I've answered every question there is in some short or another. So I think any young person or anybody losing vision that is wondering, what's it going to be like? What am I going to be able to do? I hope I put that video out there and given them some hope. And it sounds like give a little to him at least.
Yeah, and never be afraid to ask for help.
Are you holding a microphone?
Yeah.
There it is.
Never be afraid to ask for help. That's what I said before.
Okay, very good. Brooks, how we doing on all platforms and in the chats?
Doing really well. In the wide shot on YouTube, you can't see the BetterHelp sign in the bottom right. Does that matter since we have it in the bottom left?
I did not want that sign in the YouTube one.
We're
It should
good. It's
just
in
say
TikTok.
it.
We're good.
Okay,
Yeah, we're good though.
It should just say it on
Yep.
the screen, I think.
I don't know if okay, my mic's on. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, we're doing all good.
All right, just checking in on our technical stuff. This is what happens when you have a blind guy technically setting things up. I don't actually know what's going on. Cash these days, which that's how much I trust her.
Hi. Hi, how you doing?
Good. But we don't really use a lot of cash for a whole heck of a lot,
Oh, okay.
It just went black on YouTube.
Entirely?
Yeah,
Now it's back.
Oh, okay.
But I'm definitely the one that, like if we go to a restaurant, I'm the one that fills out the receipt and does the tip and all that stuff. And pretty much in general, I handle the payings for stuff, and Pete handles the making the money.
There is an app. It's called Seeing AI, and it has a bunch of different modes. It can read documents to you, it can read handwriting to you, and it actually has a money mode. So I can take my dollar bills and I can hold them out and I can point the phone at it and it can tell me $1, $5, $20, or much quicker. If I had any money in my wallet, I would just hold it to Banana and say, "What's this?" And she'd just say, "Give me your whole wallet." And I'd say, "Okay."
I don't need the wallet, I just need the cash.
Just need the cash in it. This is the. Go ahead.
It didn't really sound like my microphone was working, but now it is.
It's definitely nice and loud.
Okay.
It's the Saturday Show with Pete, Brooks, and Banana, sponsored by BetterHelp. If you need therapy, you want to talk to someone, hit up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin. You can get a discount on your first month. If you want to talk to us, 760-517-6844. And who is this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
My name's Henry.
Henry.
Hi, Henry.
What's going on today?
I just wanted to say hi. I watched your videos a lot, and it's I just want to say that.
He's also multitasking.
Yeah. Are you cleaning up your bedroom? What are you doing some fall cleaning
Doris?
there, Henry?
No, I'm just unboxing something.
Unboxing? You should film it and put it on YouTube. I heard people like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to talk to you, Henry.
Yeah, you too.
Quick question from the chat, Pete. What's your favorite after surf snack?
My favorite after surf snack has lately been
Whatever Nisha gives you.
yeah. Nisha works at a I call it the Cookie Factory, but it's a cookie shop in San Diego called Batch and Box, and they make these beefy cookies. They're like this big and
Like a piece of cake.
yeah, they're like this thick. Today I had what did I have? Like peanut butter banana cookie or something. They have one with the pink lady. It's just like rolled in sugar. So any ridiculous, they have a s'more one. Any ridiculously sugary cookie makes me really happy after I go surfing. Brooks likes to eat the biggest freaking burrito you could ever imagine.
Yeah, I like burritos.
Really
Breakfast
fast.
burritos.
Yeah. How many pounds are in that burrito? Is it a 2-pound burrito?
It's probably over one. I would say maybe like 1.2.
Yeah, and Brooks polishes it off while I'm still like daintily nibbling at my eggs. Boy can eat.
Yep.
Here's that Southern in me, man.
That's right. Hey, who's this?
Joe, what's up, bruh?
What's up?
What's
What's
up?
going on?
Nothing. Okay, so I'm going to San Diego right now, right?
Yeah?
Like, what food place do you think is the best over there?
Food place is the best. What type of food do you like? Let's start there.
Like pizza or like burgers?
Pizza and burgers.
Paradise Pizza is pretty amazing, but that's. Do you say you're going to San Diego?
Yeah.
He's
Do you
going to
know
be
Just
down.
say In-N-Out for burgers. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like In-N-Out.
That's a good answer.
You know?
What is the whole thing about their secret menu? Like, I obviously don't do
You just
drive-thrus.
gotta know.
You just got to.
I don't know. I forgot.
What is the best? So he's going down to downtown. We're up in North County. Actually, it's a bit of a hike for us to get to the city. Like, what are the hot food spots in downtown San Diego, Brooks? Do you
I
know?
mean, there's a lot of good pizza in Little Italy. You know, you can expect that, but I don't know because I don't ever go down there.
Yeah, we don't go down there very often. But as far as we don't barely ever eat fast food, but I make an exception sometimes and go to In-N-Out Burger. I would give that a whirl.
One of my favorite food stories is something that Brooks actually told me a while ago. You went to a place in Station or something like that, and you were getting served food by a robot, right?
Yeah, I was down in Convoy. It was a sushi restaurant, and a robot brings you your drinks, and then they have a conveyor belt that just goes along your table, and there's little sushi plates on there. So there's no servers. You're completely served by a robot and a conveyor belt.
I mean, that's not great for the service industry. I'm sure those people don't like to hear it, but I think being served by a robot would be mildly entertaining.
It's cool, yeah. It worked well.
I told Maggie,
Maggie?
who's Banana. I told Banana last night that I was totally down to get one of Elon Musk's Optimus spots, and she was a little surprised at that.
I really was.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome for you guys.
I think it'd be amazing.
Ever unload your dishwasher again.
Unload the dishwasher.
You walk Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take Steve out, and I told her the same thing I said to you. I want to like be hooked up in a baby Bjorn to the front of Optimus and just have it like take me places.
Yeah, it'd be super fun for
Can
you.
it do that? Can it carry? Can it do the load of a person?
Definitely. That thing's strong.
Elon Musk said he thinks everyone in the world will eventually want to own an Optimus. That's why I was like,
For sure.
I was surprised that you didn't think I'd want one.
It just made me laugh. I don't know. I mean, I'm down with it.
It's a cool new gadget. Of course I'd want it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
It's the Saturday call-in show, sponsored by BetterHelp. Please hit up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin for a discount on your first month of therapy. If you feel like you have something that you really need to talk about and you want to talk to a trained therapist about it. Who's this on the Saturday show?
Hi, I'm D'Angelo.
D'Angelo, what's going on today?
Nothing much. I'm just trying to help my mom around the house. And
That's nice
Nice.
of you. I was always trying to figure out ways to not help my mom around the house, so you got one up on me there.
You're a good son.
yeah.
What'd you want to
I
talk
got a
about?
quick question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
So, when you're surfing, how can you tell which way you're going?
So the waves generally almost always go straight to the shore. Now, sometimes, and I don't know why this is, if it's wind swell or something, they'll go at a bit of an angle. But when I'm very first walking out, I'm mildly disoriented. And then I start feeling the way that the waves are coming. And if I start to spin left, I'll just try and take notice of where I feel the waves coming from. And also if we surf near, like today, Nisha and I surfed near a jetty, and that is extraordinarily helpful to me because I can hear the water splashing and breaking on the jetty. Same thing on a pier. I can hear the sound of the water hitting the pylons. So I kind of orient myself to how the waves feel, the sounds around me. And I mean, there's not really a lot of ways to go once you're up on a wave. Once a wave is coming, the good surfers, like my coach Brooks here, will tell me well ahead of time if it's a left or a right. So I basically just kind of get up almost straight, and at the last second as it's picking me up, I go left or right, and then I try and navigate the wave going up and down it as I can feel it. But it's not like I'm going left on a wave and then all of a sudden I'm going to spin 270 degrees and start going the other way. I wouldn't get that tricky on it.
It's always interesting for me when I'm filming to see Pete navigate his way back to whichever surf coach.
I feel like I've had this kind of really nifty sense of relocate, not just location, but relocation throughout my life. Like if I catch a left and I go a certain way and then the current kind of pulls me, I kind of guesstimate. Like I start paddling out at like a 30-degree angle. And I'm always shocked when I hear like Brooks's voice or Nisha's voice or Josh. They're like, "Hey," I'm like, I was right. I was like,
It is like a magical sense.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, it gets a little tricky when you get on the inside and there's like a rip that's pulling you. I feel like this happened to me and you a lot, Brooks, over last month when there was a lot of inside rips where I'm paddling out and I hear you like, "We're over here." I'm like, "Ah, crap, I missed by a mile."
Yeah, sometimes you do go like the opposite direction of me.
That's just you, because I know when you're coming in, sometimes you and I get a little close.
Yeah, I like to push it a little bit. Not that much, but
I feel like I have a decent sense of space and spatial awareness, though.
yeah, you do. You're really good at finding, especially if I say anything, you're like a freaking dolphin or bat, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's for
Is that your voice?
It totally. In the beginning, when I was first trying to locate my coaches out in the water, they're like, "Here I am," and I'm like, no idea where that just came from because it sounds so bizarre out on the water. But just over time and practice, I've been starting to hone in on that a little bit better.
Random question from the chat: have you heard of Ability One?
No.
What is
Are they gonna give me the answer? Or am I just gonna be left
I don't know.
wondering? Oh, great.
Deans to Beans asked, so maybe he'll explain.
Well, I do not know what Ability One is. I suppose if they don't give us the answer, we could Google. It's probably it's another probably system like the Orcam or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm just guessing. It is the Saturday show. If you'd like to talk to us, dial 760-517-6844. I was told by some of my visually impaired listeners and viewers, well, no, they'd just be listeners, I guess, that I say the phone number too fast. However, if you are using text-to-speech, you can click beneath the title of this video in the description, and it will tell you the phone number to call. It is 760-517-6844. Who's this?
What up? It's Jeff.
Jeff, what's going on?
What's going on, Pete, Banana, Brooks? What's going on, you guys?
Not much. How are you today?
Great. Good to see you back, Banana. How was your vacation?
It was really good. Thank you for asking. I had a great time.
Good. Refreshing?
So refreshing. Yep. I did a lot of hiking in New Hampshire and went down to the Cape and went to a music festival. It was awesome.
Banana got to go leaf peeping.
All right. Shoot. Dang, Pete. And you were right there in the office kicking butt.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Somebody's got to pay for these vacations. She was doing
The
leaf
flight was
peeping.
free. I had points.
Yeah. She likes to go leaf peeping, which is a little tough or a little underwhelming for me. I mean, if I am in the woods and she tells me it's a beautiful shade of orange mixed with yellow, I can picture it in my mind, but it's not the same thing. So she enjoyed the leaf peeping by herself and with some of her other sighted friends.
I understand. My mom. Like I tell you, my mom. She's blind, and I try to understand. I try to understand that what you just told me too. You know what I mean? And I try to push because you do a lot, man. You still get out. You say that, but you get out and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're wild, bro. So I try to understand that, and my mom, she, I try to get her out a lot of the times, and it's kind of the same thing. And she was doing real good, like I said, after the stroke, the blood clots, man. It's been harder to get her back out again, but she's still kicking butt. But I'm like, dang, man. So I get it. What you just said, that made me understand a little bit. That was cool.
That's cool.
No, what's up with you, Brooks?
Man, I'm chilling, just working hard, enjoying my Saturday, man. It's my day off.
Yeah.
This is his day off. We put him to work on his day off.
I know.
This ain't work.
He loves it.
Oh yeah, it's a good time, man. We're having fun.
Brooks has got like 6 jobs. Andy's going to school. What is the degree? What are you getting your master's in?
Business analytics.
Oh, that sounds so nerdy.
Sounds so boring.
I don't even know, man. You're correct, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, Brooks, go, baby. Let's get it. Yeah.
Gotta hustle, man. You gotta grind out here in California to keep up. So
Yes. 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
everyone's got it.
I know.
Yeah. Everyone needs a side hustle.
I talking to your mom about not wanting to get back out there. I said in a video earlier this week, I posted on Monday, it was the one where I got a slice across the top of my foot while I was surfing. And I said in the middle of the video, and it's funny, this one resonated with a lot of people who have different handicaps, is, I can, there were some comments like, of course it's going to happen. You should stay home. And I'm like, I could stay home and I could be completely safe and I could get never injured and I could be comfortable in my home listening to audiobooks and hanging out with Banana and making and my friends all come to me all the time, and that would be comfortable and safe. But that's not really living. It's not.
It's called being a recluse.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen inside your house too? Really, honestly, I mean,
Yeah,
That's true, especially
true.
with our two crazy dogs.
But so, I said in the video, I said, if there's a degree of danger involved with me going out and experiencing life, I'm willing to accept that. Now, I know the accident I had was between me and Nisha, and she wants to say it was her fault, and I say it's my fault. But I also don't care whose fault it is, because when you're surfing with a blind guy and you're in the ocean, something's going to happen. And I completely accept that. I accept it. I understand it. Maggie Knight, but I keep calling you Maggie.
I know,
today.
it's really weird. I didn't even know you knew my name.
But Banana Knight might not be happy if I were to come home or not come home someday because there was a major problem. But I'm willing to accept most of the risk because I'd rather go out there and try and live my life than be safe and hide from it.
Yeah, definitely.
absolutely. I told you, my mom went blind, dude. She had a instead of just sitting at home after brain surgery and just calling it like she did good her whole life, but she still went. She had a dude come. His name was Joe. He was a badass dude, and I didn't want to curse.
That's
but
okay.
he was a badass dude, and he still is. And we haven't kept in contact with him too much recently. Dang it, But he taught her how to walk, and yeah, dude, she was walking my little sister to kindergarten like a couple years after she went blind, completely blind.
That's
She was
amazing.
walking my sister to freaking school, and then she'd walk back by herself for a long time.
Wow.
And she'd get her cane hit by cars and all kinds of stuff, man. I used to get mad when I was a kid. I'd walk with her, and the cane would hit her car. I'd smack it with the cane. I'd be like, here, Mom, let me see your cane. I was younger, but yeah, man, it's brutal out there, dude. So, I see how you overcome, bro, and I watch it, and I'm down with it. I want to see every video, every short, every freaking live. Let's go, I'm happy about these lives.
You gotta keep
These are
doing more stuff.
incredible for everybody right here.
That is awesome. I appreciate it. It's good to hear from you every time. I love hearing from the regulars. I love hearing from the new people. I love the energy that you bring every week or every time we do it. Thank you for the call. Anything else you want to throw in, or should we see who else is out there?
I just say hi to you, my queen right here. Just say hi, baby. Say hi.
Hello.
Hey. What's her name?
No, keep it going. Hey, just your last clip was awesome. The one that you put all your commercials, everything you do. I've been trying to tell everybody about it, and I was able to show a little more of that one. Like, look, SpongeBob, everything. So it's cool, man.
I also love SpongeBob.
I don't even know. I don't know if you saw that. It just went out today. It's a montage. It's like 58 seconds of some of my more well-known stuff from the NFL to Jimmy Kimmel to SpongeBob and Ben 10.
That's
and
what I was talking about.
that's
exactly
well, it's funny. I put that out there to show, because people are like, what have you done? What do you do? And I just kind of want to do a highlight reel. There's a lot of stuff you've probably heard me on, except I think the YouTube algorithm is like, why is this dude putting out a commercial today? It didn't know what to do with it. It only got a couple thousand views after the first 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, no, it's me. That's me. It's not just a commercial.
That's funny.
So I hope more people check that
I
out.
showed my girl, and she's like, SpongeBob. She's like this and that. I showed my dad. He's like, oh, this, everybody knows everything on there, everything that you do. I'm like, you guys might not see him, but you hear him.
Exactly. I know. I always tell people that. I'm like, wherever you are in this country or maybe a different country, you are probably hearing him.
Oh, yes, you have. Hey, I'm going to let you guys get to all the youngsters and everybody on here that really, really appreciates you talking to them, bro. And all you guys, Brooks, Banana, all you guys. Keep it up, dude. Thank you for it again, man.
Thanks for
a
calling
lot,
in.
bro. Appreciate it. You got your name right. I kept calling you.
You want to visit the chat real quick?
Yeah, let's see what's
Beans to
gotten.
Beans is explaining Ability One. He says it's a federal program that employs people who are blind or visually impaired and also prioritizes purchases with government items that are Ability One labeled, usually office supply items made by those.
Okay.
Yeah, who have a visual impairment.
I think that's a really good program. The unemployment rate amongst the blind is exceptionally high. It's very difficult to break into the workforce when you are constantly being looked at as lesser than other people. I've found that you have to bring a skill set to the table that is well above and beyond the norm just to even be considered. So the fact that the government is helping to offset that difficulty in employment by providing that kind of a service, I think is pretty fantastic.
And Devil's Advocate is here, and
Hello.
it's a she, right?
It is a she.
She says, in 7 days, my youngest leaves for basic training, trying to wrap my emotions around it. Proud but sad. Any advice, Pete, Brooks, or Banana? Farm is just not going to be the same.
Yeah, it's you. She said her youngest.
Yeah.
Heading to basic. I wonder where the basic training. You just had a friend whose godson went through basic training.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a very emotional. I mean, it's not like you're just sending your kids off to college where they're going to be safe and sound. You're sending them off to, you're unfortunately sending them off to war. That's not making it any better. But
not necessarily.
They are with the most dominant, powerful, impressive, well-equipped, technologically impressive fighting force in the history of the world. So know that they have all the best resources behind them, all the best people, and hopefully the leadership at the top is going to point them in the right direction and make sure they do all the right things. I am a huge fan of anybody that fights for our country. I actually was living in New York City during 9/11. I was right there. The buildings came down in front of me, and one of the first things I did after I got resettled was, even with my crappy eyesight, I reached out to the armed forces. I reached out to the Army and asked if there was anything that at the time, legally blind guy with a degree in communications and the ability to communicate over radio or broadcast or write, or I asked if there was anything I could do to contribute, and they said thanks, but no thanks. But I'm always impressed with anybody that is willing to dedicate their life and themselves to the service of others and the country.
Yeah, I would focus. My advice would be to focus on how proud you are, and how the rest of us look at. Is it a boy or a girl? Do we know?
No.
Well, either way, doesn't. Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. But everybody is very proud of somebody that will fight for us.
Silent Rob stop motion with a super chat, $2. You're such a cool guy. I also love Superman.
That's nice. Oh, you can see. I wonder if you can see what's in the frame. Is any of the super?
Yeah, Superman's in the frame.
Is the picture of Super Dog? That's right there.
You can't really see it. It's behind the mic.
I need to put that in a better position then.
I'm gonna leave a comment on TikTok really quick.
Okay. This is the screen, Banana. If you're wondering what we look like.
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Wasn't sure. Is Skylar with us today?
Yeah, she's right on my left knee.
That's always very nice. We can Brooks. So the TikTok audience, what happens is if you don't interact, so Brooks is going to write something. It's going to come up as my name, I assume, and he's going to say something not embarrassing, hopefully. So the TikTok will kick you off if you don't interact with it after about an hour. So he is interacting. We did something different on the YouTube channel today. If you go to youtube.com/blindsurfer, just right to the main page, you will see the live right there. I think there's like a trailer video of all the wipeouts I've ever had, and right below that should be this live. So if you're on TikTok and you want to come over to the YouTube chat or the YouTube people, youtube.com/blindsurfer. Also, what's up to the Facebook people, the Twitch people, and the main audience, of course, on YouTube. It is the Saturday afternoon show with Brooks, Banana, and me, Pete. Who is this?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Dante.
Dante?
Yeah.
What's going on?
How are you?
Sorry. I'm like freaking out right now.
That's okay.
Banana
We're
is
glad
scary.
you got through. I know, I am very
Banana's
intimidated.
a scary person.
He's like,
I just sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I just wanted to say that I love your content like a lot.
Nice.
And my 7th-month relationship just ended the other day, and I was really sad. And I started watching your content, and it made me smile.
Aw.
So
That's cool. That's nice to hear. I never expected that my content would help people breaking up from relationships. But that I hope you're staying.
You're a positive person, though. You really do. You have good, happy energy.
I always, every time I had a breakup, that was when I got some of my most creative work done, because I could just sit there and wallow in being sad, or I could just distract myself by trying to. I think I wrote 2 of my 3 albums with my band Penthouse J within a month of having breakups, because I couldn't focus on the breakup anymore. I need to focus on something else. And did you ever notice when you have a breakup, literally every song you hear, that's me. That one's me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like every great song was apparently written about your breakup.
Yeah.
Well, are you keeping busy besides just watching my stellar, stunning videos? Is there anything else you're keeping busy with?
Yeah.
That's good.
I've schoolwork mainly. My grades were really bad, so I needed to work on that earlier.
Well, maybe the breakup is a blessing in disguise, and you can buckle
Yeah.
down and bring your grades up.
Yeah, forget her or him. Forget that person. Move on and focus on you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could bring
important.
Yeah,
The door count, I'm like,
grades are important. Glad the videos could help out a little bit. That's I've heard people in the hospital that are like going through surgeries and realizing that they're going to have a diminished capacity after the surgery, and a lot of them will say, you know, I watched you, realized, you know, that you lost your eyesight, but we're still able to go. I get a lot of phone calls on the show and messages from people that I feel like my channel gets fed specifically to people in hospitals for some reason.
Post surgery or something.
Yeah, post
Very
surgery.
interesting. The Dream Times super chat $2 and says, what would you suggest someone do to prepare if they are losing their eyesight?
Okay, so I'm thinking, because I gave a certain advice, and then a lot of people in the blind community reached out, and they're like, no, you're doing it all wrong. The blind community said that what you want to do is you want to get hooked up with your local. In Massachusetts, they have a commission for the blind. If you're in Miami or Detroit, they have lighthouse organizations for the blind. There's generally organizations that will help you, and that's important. I didn't go to a blind school. I didn't take the Lighthouse organization up on their help. I didn't go to the Perkins School for the Blind. I did my own thing, and it was mostly due to a lack of knowledge. I didn't know any other blind people. I didn't know what to expect. So what I did is I tried to stay ahead of the progression of my vision loss. You know, when kids in 7th grade, we were all learning how to type, and they were all screwing off because they figured they could just look down A, S, D, F, J, K, L, semicolon. They'd be able to look at the keyboard. I knew I wouldn't be able to look at it in time. So I made a point to memorize the keyboard. And then even before I was no longer able to read a computer monitor, I was navigating the computer using text to speech. So I would say that you need to look at what you want to do with your life, whether it's continue working or if you just want to figure out how to feed yourself. You know, use your microwave in your home. If it doesn't have text to speech on it or the buttons aren't tactile, it's going to be hard. So I would say use the time that you've got and the vision that you have to look ahead towards what you're going to lose and start making as many preparations for it as possible.
And this isn't relevant to work in the future or anything like that, but Pete has told me that when he used to have a little bit more vision, he was kind of putting images that he had memorized into the blurry space and seeing that way. So I feel like, you know, just really like taking it all in, what you can see, you know, so then you can use that memory later.
That was kind of when I was doing that was a little bit of my cheat. Like, no, I can see stuff. Like when people were out and they'd be like, oh, did you see that, you know, crazy car? I'm like, yeah, totally. I was kind of making it look like I could see a little bit more.
Well, I know you were doing that, but wouldn't you say that like well, I guess whatever. I'm not
No, you're right.
Speak for you, but it seems like you would say, like when you saw like I'm going to use like a tree as an example or whatever, like to you, it's a blurry mess.
Yeah.
But you could use what you remember it looking like and putting it in that space.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that entirely helped me function as a blind person, but I definitely tried to put as many things into my head. I will, oddly enough, in my quiet moments, like when I'm in the shower or when I'm getting ready for bed, I will think about times when I could see. And I used to sail a lot. I was a competitive sailor. And I remember being out in the water and looking at the trees on the shore or the boathouses or the other people sailing. And I just kind of think about, because someone asked me, and Molly, remember Molly was here? Mm-hmm. She told me that I would forget colors. She told me that enough time went by with this eyesight that I would forget colors. And I was like, no way, I don't want to forget colors. So I've made a conscious effort to not only think about the entire spectrum of colors that I've seen in my life through the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. I am also trying to remember everything that I've seen, like your face when we first met. You know, my childhood home, the friends that I grew up with, the places that I've been, when I hiked.
It's good that you're seeing my younger face.
Yeah, you're always, your face is always about 11 years younger than it is right now to me.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a fair amount of traveling throughout the country because of sailing, saw a lot of places, and I got to see Old Faithful. And I remember the image of being able to look out and see that geyser. So I try and put as many things into my brain bank of visual memories as possible. It was kind of a sidetrack to what they were saying, but hopefully I answered that somewhere in there. Anything else you want to grab a call?
You can move forward.
All right. It is the Saturday afternoon show, noon show with Pete Brooks and Banana. It is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you feel like you need to talk to a trained therapist, you can do that from the comfort of your home. Be paired with a therapist in as little as 48 hours. Please hit up BetterHelp.com/PeteGuston to get a discount on your first month. You'd think I'd read commercials for a living, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Also, kind of like speed talking.
All right, I can
Small
slow it
snack.
down next time. I'm trying to get to the trying to get to as many calls as possible. Who's this? Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
we can hear you.
I have a question to ask.
Sure.
Yes, before I say something, your videos really inspire me. I have autism.
You're kind of muffled.
Yeah. See if you can ask the question.
has
I'll do
autism.
my best to answer. Yeah.
How do you keep going if you don't have any motivation for life?
You know, this is a question I feel like I get a lot. I think a lot of people look at me and go, this dude must be really motivated because I'm always accomplishing different things. Now, first of all, I work in a field that I absolutely love. I love creating these videos. I love voice acting. I love creating. I love making art. I love spending time with my friends. So the motivation to keep doing that stuff isn't that hard. It's just what I like. Can you give me some third person perspective, Banana, on motivation? Like, you watch me. Why do people always ask me how I stay motivated? What am I doing that other people may or may not be?
I don't know. I mean, I think sometimes people are just born more motivated than others.
That's kind of what I feel
First
like.
and second child syndrome.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and he's an only child. Yeah. You're way more motivated than me. I have to push myself. I'm like, you can do this. Leave the house.
Yeah, yeah. Brooks, you're a highly motivated individual.
Yeah,
you're
you
always
are.
trying to accomplish something.
Yeah, I mean, I was the firstborn on my dad's side of the family, and then I'm the first child. So I had to like set an example, and I was kind of the golden child of my family. And so I was expected to do well.
That's a good point. So I feel like maybe my own motivation was set up by early expectations where I wasn't only child, but I had two older cousins that I've mentioned quite a few times. And as I was in 6th and 7th grade, one got into Harvard and then the other one got into MIT. And I was like, okay, lot to live up to there. So I felt like the motivation was just a function of what was expected of me. I had to get good grades. I had to apply myself. I had to, put some extracurriculars there. I ran for and became my class president, captain of the swim
Well,
team.
let's ask him.
And we're having a little difficulty there. So I'm trying to explore the whole motive, because we've been asked this a number of times. Where does the motivation come from? And I think Brooks
I
actually.
think familial pressure and expectations is a huge factor.
Do you feel like there is a lot expected of you and of yourself?
Yes.
And do you have difficulty living up to it, do you feel?
Yes.
And so you feel like you're just looking for the motivation to reach those Now, the expectations, do you want what they want you to live up to? Is it what you want,
That's
or is
an
it what they
excellent
want?
Mm-hmm.
They want.
How do you get them to understand that you may want different things and get them to accept that? Have you tried to have that kind of a conversation with them?
No.
Might be worthwhile.
Yeah.
To say, they're trying to motivate you to do things that you don't want to do. That's very difficult. There are a lot of things that.
But approach it in a non-combative way. You know what I mean? Just like, hey, can we talk about some stuff? And see if they're receptive. You never know. It might be.
What do you want to do? Like, what would you wake up every day? What is something you look forward to doing and accomplishing?
Drawing, listening to music, watching your videos. I love your videos. I have autism, and your videos are very motivational.
That's really,
I love your
really
videos.
nice to hear.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you can have some sort of a conversation with your parents or whoever is putting that pressure on you to maybe align the expectations between the two of you. If you're always being pushed to do something you don't want to do, you're not going to really put your all into it.
That's true. Maybe you can find a balance,
It's about finding the balance for that, for sure.
Yeah.
And thank you for that insight, Brooks. I never really thought about, I feel like I never thought about the motivation coming from such an early thing as familiar pressure.
Yeah.
If it's expected of you from a very early age.
Yeah, especially like you were saying, if your, siblings and cousins and everything are high achieving, or if you're the first one, I think that makes the pressure harder, because if you don't achieve, then you feel like you didn't make it.
That's so true in my family. My oldest sister is a neurologist. I mean, I could go on it. I could brag about her all day. She's highly motivated and, but she was, firstborn.
Can you see my socks, by the way?
Yeah, people are laughing about your song.
Those made it into a blind guy unboxing video. Whoever sent those, I think they just grabbed the. It's the picture from my YouTube channel, right? It's my avatar.
Yeah.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah. Came out great.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
I will do it slower since Banana says I've talked too fast. It is the Saturday Show, presented by BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin for a discount on your first month. Sponsors, by the way, are very important. I realize I've done this channel for years and years now without any sponsors whatsoever. The expenses have accrued quite a bit. Running a channel like this and doing not just lives, but 4 videos, 5 videos a week, and lives and everything, it gets to be a lot, considering this is not even remotely my job. I'm a voice actor, so I'm really excited for a company to come along like BetterHelp and sponsor this. And for anybody out there who likes me, who likes this channel, who likes Banana, if you can support our sponsors, you're actually supporting us. And I really, really, really appreciate that. So thanks to BetterHelp, betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin. I feel so cool. I have my own sponsored URL.
Way to go.
Someday you'll get betterhelp.com/banana, but now it's Pete Gustin. It's the Saturday Show. Who's this?
Hi, it's Jet.
Jet.
Cool name.
Yeah, I was
dude.
gonna say you have a cool name.
It is a cool name.
So I have a question about a blind guy unboxing,
Sure.
and I think this was quite a bit ago.
I have a decent memory.
Oh.
Fire away.
Yeah. So I think it was a butterfly knife or something like that. You said it was banned in California and somewhere else.
It was well, I never said it because I wasn't. Yeah, I don't think it'll get. I was trying not to get it taken down because I didn't want to show it. Someone had mailed a what's it called? Shorukun. It's a Chinese throwing star, whatever the actual term.
Shuriken or something.
Yeah, and they are not legal to. I forget the exact terminology, but they're not legal to mail or sell in California. I think you can own one. I don't know. I got it in the mail, and I immediately went to Google, and I was not supposed to have had something like that sent to me. And we just kind of made a little video about that because it was kind of humorous that someone was. I think a lot of people saw that I love to do the unboxing with different kinds of knives and weaponry. Someone had sent me like a Nerf style blowgun and like a child's like a bow and arrow set, and then some other person was like, I know, I'll send them Chinese throwing stars, which was just one step too far, unfortunately.
Okay, and then one more question. Well, actually 2 more. So, what do you see while dreaming? Like, are you blind while you're dreaming?
We get this question. I'm going to give you a quick answer because we get this almost every live. I do have 2 videos, maybe 3 videos. What does a blind guy see in his dreams? I think would be the title of it. I actually see I was going through a period where I was seeing in blurry and difficult vision, but these days when I close my eyes and I fall asleep and I hit REM, I actually see in really good, clear vision.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to sleep all the time.
I know. I very much look forward to dreaming, waking up, remembering my dreams. Because all my activities these days, I do a lot of crazy and fun things, but the visual memory of them is just a blur, which kind of stinks. I don't get to put those things in my memory other than the experience I had with my friends, which is amazing. I love that. But the visual memory of everything that I'm putting into my brain bank right now is a big blur, and a lot of times the stress that comes along with it. But when I dream, sometimes, this is interesting. I think I forgot to say this in the last live. Sometimes I will dream about something that I did earlier in the day, and my brain will put the images back into it.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier.
Okay. Well, now it comes there. Now I get it. But it's so just a simple thing like walking to my spot in the beach and going out surfing. If I think about that today, which I just did with Nisha, my visual memory is nothing. It's blur, brightness, headaches, swirling colors, what I normally see, which is nothing useful. But if I dream that memory again, my brain will reassemble what I know of what a beach is supposed to look like, what I believe Nisha looks like, what I believe the ocean looks like, and the jetty next to me. My brain will put that memory together for me in a dream.
What's your next question?
So do you remember when you got the egg-shaped board?
Yes. Brooks was the first guy to ride that thing.
Oh yeah, that was a huge video. Too.
Oh yeah. He showed me his crack.
Yeah, that thing was fun. It took us so long to figure out that it was supposed to be a crack in an egg.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Lightning bolt. Yeah.
So you've been watching for a while. That's an older video.
Yeah. Oh, but what did you think when riding it?
I am very, I can't look down and see what is beneath me, so I'm very much a person who is used to muscle memory, and when I'm riding a skateboard, there's usually enough room for 2 feet. So I stepped on the thing and I tried to put my foot down behind the front foot, and there was no board there, and I just kind of stepped on the ground and wiped out pretty hard. So I was thinking, crap, that stunk. But it was, then I had to get it into my brain, like, okay, this is basically a 1 foot board, and then it was fun. It's fun riding something that little. Yeah.
I mean, I have tiny feet, but
the people on TikTok might be able to see it. YouTube, I believe it's out of the frame. This is the egg board right here.
You can't see it on TikTok.
Oh, it's out of the frame?
I don't see it on either.
Okay, so there's a mixing board here, then there's a speaker, and the egg board is beneath it.
Oh yeah, you actually can see it on TikTok.
Yeah, so I can slide this mixing panel back and forth. I put it on a skateboard. That's the famous egg board right there.
Funny.
Well, Jet, you got anything else, or is that it?
Oh, just this one last thing.
Sure.
Make a video of trying to draw.
I've done a handful of videos. I think it's called Can a Blind Guy Draw? Am I wearing? Which one am I wearing? Is this the
the basic one?
Yeah. So I've got a video showing how I drew. This is a recreation of my channel logo that I drew, and the glasses that are on the surfboard, if I'm pointing in the right direction, is actually these lenses. I popped them out of these glasses, put them on a piece of paper, traced the lenses, and then put it over a surfboard. And then one of my favorite designs ever is my original surf squatch, which is available. You can buy them on a t-shirt, and I show you how I use chalk to draw basically a Sasquatch on a surfboard. So there's maybe 3 or 4 videos of me drawing that you can check out on the channel.
All right. Well, that's all the questions that I have.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jet. I appreciate the call.
Questions.
It's the Saturday show. You got
153, Pete.
Okay,
just letting you know.
We are.
You're gonna go, but I'm just letting you know.
You want to do about an hour and a half today?
Sure.
Does that sound good?
Sure.
Anything going on in the chat? Are you in both chats, or are you just?
I mean, I'm watching TikTok. I can't really respond from my.
Do they have anything we can respond to in audio?
No, not really.
Well, step it up, TikTok chat. Brooks is watching. If you had something good, it'd bring it to us. It's the Saturday show. You can dial 760-517-6844. Slowing that down for Banana. It's presented by
I appreciate that.
BetterHelp. Hit up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin. You'll get a discount on your first month of therapy, where you can talk to a trained therapist and not just some goofball who does social media like me. It's the Saturday show. Who's this?
Caden.
Caden, what's going on?
Nothing much. I just have 3 questions.
Fire away.
So how did you become blind?
A very unfortunate set of genetic circumstances. My parents got together, they made me, and my genes went wrong.
Yeah, it was 2 recessive genes got together, and
Nothing exciting. Not a cool superhero accident where I got dropped into a vat of acid or anything like that. Just my ABCA4 gene went terribly wrong.
Oh, I just thought something happened.
No.
Have you ever gotten into bad accident surfing
yes,
out in the ocean?
Yes.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was away for 24 hours?
You weren't even gone a whole day.
No, I wasn't.
I crashed into a jetty. Really hard. I
was quite injured.
Yeah, the jetty was here. I paddled out, knowing that I was catching some waves in, and I had been drifting north the whole time. I didn't realize it. So by the 7th or 8th wave, I went in, crashed into the jetty, and I'm surprised that didn't mess me up more.
You should tell the part where I had to figure out how to call an Uber.
We told this on the other night, but I was so cut up.
He was so frazzled that he. Well, sorry.
I was frazzled and I was bleeding and I was having a difficult time accessing my phone. I probably should have called an ambulance or something, but I basically just I'm like, call Maggie, because there was so much blood on my hands were bleeding nonstop because I landed on my hands and my elbow, and there was just so much blood that I couldn't activate the touch screen. So I just said, call Banana. And she ended up calling an Uber to get me
from
home.
Boston.
Yeah. She was in Boston. I was in San Diego, covered in blood. And she called the nicest Uber driver in the planet, who actually took bloody me and my surfboard and brought me home, where our former police officer neighbor came over and came to check on me and make sure I was okay.
I found a way to, I can't remember if I spoke to the woman or if I text, but I just said, like, please, please, please pick him up, even though he's covered in blood.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, my blind boyfriend is covered in blood and needs
You're
help.
his only hope.
Yeah, and she's like, why is this my problem?
Yeah.
But she totally helped me out. And she had leather seats. I'm not sure if that was...
I probably wouldn't have picked you up if she didn't have leather seats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the blood would get into the cloth. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was scrubbing my blood out of her leather later, but glad to know it probably came out.
Hopefully you tipped her.
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, it was on your credit card. Did you tip her?
I'm sure I did.
Okay.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
And you another one, Caden?
Yeah. What's your favorite, like, NFL team?
Well, Banana and I grew up in New England, so we are big New England Patriots fans.
It's not going so hot this year.
Yeah, we had 20 years of awesomeness, and now it's not so amazing. But I still I still follow the team. I still listen to sports radio in Boston to try and listen to the games. And I don't want to be too much of a fair weather fan, but we had a heck of a run there from from 2001 to 2021.
Yeah.
What's your favorite team?
I'm a Cowboys fan.
Nice. That's cool.
They were really so when I was in high school, they were the dominant team with Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman, probably a little before your time, but they were. Michael Irvin. They had a heck of a team. That's when the Patriots were horrible in the mid '90s. I actually used to watch more of the Cowboys games because
I was going to say, I think that must have been a common thing because I remember watching Cowboys games too.
Back in the day, if a team didn't sell out the stadium, they wouldn't broadcast the game. And a lot of times in Massachusetts, people were not selling out Foxborough because the product was terrible. So really early on, a little before I was watching football, they used to broadcast a lot of Giants games. So it's funny, older guys in New England now, like 65 and up, are like Giants fans. And then a lot of guys my age who were watching Troy Aikman's Cowboys in the mid '90s, we did catch a lot of Cowboys games because that's the product that Fox kept putting on for us to watch.
That's cool.
Well, thanks for the call, Caden. I appreciate it. We are here on the Saturday afternoon show. Anything exciting in the chat there, Brooks?
Nothing significant. I'm gonna comment on TikTok real quick to keep it going.
All right.
Sounds good.
It's the Saturday show. We are on TikTok. We are on Twitch. We are on Facebook. And, of course, we are on YouTube, where all my favorite people seem to be usually. It's the Saturday show, 760-517-6844 if you'd like to talk to us. Who's this?
Hey, Pete Guston. It's Maravik.
Maravik? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Omari.
Mari.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah. Yes, I'm visually impaired myself. I have optic atrophy caused by a pituitary tumor. And I was just wondering, sometimes I try to be highly motivated myself. There's just some days where I reminisce on the things that I used to do before and the inability to do them now. How do you get by? What's your advice?
He's asking for people. The connection wasn't that great. He was talking about remembering the things that he used to be able to do that he can no longer do because of his diminished vision due to a tumor, I think he said, on his pituitary.
Optic atrophy.
Okay, yeah. Optic atrophy due to the
optic nerve damage, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, and he's asking about. It is difficult when I look back to think. I still have a bunch of bikes in my garage. I did give my favorite mountain biking bike to Josh when he moved up to Big Bear because I knew he'd get more enjoyment out of it than I would. And that made me sad. I remember I took the bike for one little spin just around the cul-de-sac where I'm comfortable. And I was like, this is the last time I'm going to ride this mountain bike. And I've still got the gold bike in the garage, and I used to tool around. That thing is so much fun to ride, and you get so many compliments on this. I have this gold, just solid gold bike. And
lowrider.
Yeah, it's a lowrider. It's crazy fun. And so, yeah, you can hear it in my voice right now. It stinks that I can't do that stuff anymore. But for everything that I've lost, when I was riding bikes and when I was playing Frisbee and Ultimate Frisbee with my friends, I didn't surf. And I also didn't have a YouTube channel, a place to be creative and express myself and tell my stories and interact with fans. So I feel like every time I've lost something in my life, the ability to do something, I've done one of two things. I've tried to replace it with something that I can do, or I have tried to find a different way to do it. Because I think if you just go through your life accepting loss after loss after loss, like I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, that could really weigh on you. So I just try and replace it with different things. I hope you can find a way to do that as well. Is there one particular thing that you used to do that you can't, that's really weighing on you now?
Well, there's multiple, but I used to enjoy riding my bike. Being on one wheel, not bike, it's a bicycle,
Yep.
just to be sure.
Yep.
But I used to enjoy being on one wheel, just heading down the road, at high speeds.
Yeah.
But I haven't found anything that to replace these things, from video games and so forth,
Yeah.
So I haven't gotten to a place where you are yet. I know it's inevitable that, if I continue to look and seek, I'll find it. But for now, I just wondered, how do you get by? I know we're humans, even though we try, and we try to set things aside like driving and, other stuff. But how do you really adjust when you really have a low day, or when you used to have a low day?
I mean, I say this all the time. So I've been on YouTube. It'll be 5 straight years of making videos on December 31st / January 31st of this year. Now, and in the first series of videos, people watch me ride a skateboard, surf. I was riding a bike with Banana. Were you on the handlebars or in the back? You were on the back, like telling me where to go. I was riding a one wheel. I was doing all this stuff. Now, what you didn't see before 2020, when I started this channel, was the 15 to 20 years of me very, very slowly accepting the fact that I've lost my vision and starting to build up another set of skills of things that I could enjoy and things that I could do. Because it's not like you're going to lose your vision and the next day just go, oh, well, I used to drive my car to work as a mechanic, I'll just do something else tomorrow. Like, you can't drive your car anymore, and you're not going to be an amazing mechanic, especially at first when you first lose your vision. It takes time. So I think you said something that makes sense. It's hopefully around the corner, and you're going to get there if you keep a positive mindset, but don't expect to just adjust in one day. Just know that the future is going to get better so long as you work towards it.
Yeah, it's not going to be instantaneous, and that's okay. I think the best
right.
advice there was a positive mindset.
Continue being an inspiration, man. I thank you for that advice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the
calling.
phone call. That was a nice one to hear.
Bryce in the TikTok chat is wondering what's the best skateboard to start on.
Oh man, there's so many. Back when I got boards, there was like 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You got the Tony Hawk, you got the Rob Roscoff,
Yeah.
you got Lance Mountain. Like these days, I mean, it depends what you want to
Do
do.
you want a longboard? Do you want a traditional skateboard? Do you want a surf skateboard?
I feel like the easiest board to learn to ride, if you're just trying to get on a surfboard, would probably be a longboard, right? We think, Brooks?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like a big, not a huge longboard, but like a medium-sized longboard just to learn how to carve and stuff. Definitely not just like a normal shortboard, because with like a normal shortboard skateboard, if you hit a rock and you're going, you're donezo.
Yeah.
And with a longboard, it can take a little bit more, of a hit. It can roll over things,
Yeah,
and you're not just going to fly over the handlebars. So definitely want something with bigger wheels that are soft, soft wheels, big board.
And trucks that you can adjust to your liking. You can start with them pretty tight so you can go in a straight line nice, and then you can loosen them up as you want to carve. I got a nice Sector 9 in the garage. It's an old school all wood, just looks like it's made of straight wood longboard, and I've always enjoed riding that one.
Check that one out. I really enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Anything else in the chat? Should we grab another call?
There's people hitting on each other in the chat.
All right, we're facilitating relationships.
Yeah, they're full dramatic, relationship pairing happening here.
Okay.
Hey, welcome to the love ship.
I've asked them to lay off.
Oh, it was getting a little much.
Yeah.
Banana the other night at the end, and Brooke said that we got a spike in viewership. Actually, we were doing ASMR.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I didn't either. It's when you talk really quietly. What's the point again? Or people like make mouth noises?
It's supposed to create sensations. Like there is like a physical effect that it has apparently. That's the reason people listen to it, is it can cause tingles down your spine.
Oh, wait, so do I even have to say word? Can I just be like...
You can just click. You just be,
I was talking to my friend Crystal last night, and she was saying that her dad is way into frequencies. And she's like, do you know what that is? And I was like, I think I understand what you're saying. She's like, yeah, he just listens to different frequencies. And that's it. That's the whole story.
Brooke said that there was a whole ASMR category of girls breaking up with their boyfriends, like being mean and being like...
divorces, breakups.
I broke up with you because you don't bring home enough money.
Yeah.
And you don't make enough time for me. And you don't play with my tiny little white dog.
Yeah.
I was like, where's that going with?
Only people like to hear that. I don't know.
That's kind of funny. It is the Saturday show sponsored by BetterHelp. If you want to talk to a trained therapist from the comfort of your own home, you can be paired with one in as soon as 48 hours. Hit up betterhelp.com/Pete Gustin. You can get a discount on your first month. Thank you for calling. Who is this? Oh, did they hang up on me?
Yeah, I feel like
I just got
First
hung up.
hang up of the day.
I know. I don't know if it was intentional.
I heard bloop.
Yeah.
But we'll take the second
I got
call.
scared.
Fortunately, we have like a lot. I feel like there's a pretty steady influx of calls, and I appreciate that. The fact that people want to talk to us is kind of cool. Thank you to everybody that calls in and spends your time talking to us. Who's this?
Hello, Pete and the crew. My name is Jared.
Jared, what's going on?
Not much. I'm in a little bit of a predicament, though.
That's
and,
why we're here,
I'm
to
just
help.
curious for some advice.
Sure.
Okay, so I've been making a video game for the past year or so,
That's cool.
It's about to come out, and there was no attention or anything for it for almost the whole year. But the past 2 weeks, it's kind of blown up, and I'm just looking for some advice, I guess, on how to handle what to do with people and how to handle the stress of this.
Can I ask a question really quick? Is it gonna
Sure.
be? Is it gonna be on Steam?
It is.
What's it called? I'm interested.
It's called Truth Seekers.
Cool.
TRUTH.
I'll look it up.
Seekers.
Can we get? I don't know how much you want to involve your friends' personal lives, but so I'll give you the 10-second version. You know, when my channel blew up and I started becoming popular and recognized, it was me specifically. People recognizing me, and fortunately, I didn't get recognized. Thank God, like I didn't do anything stupid online. People were like, hey, that's the idiot that did that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everybody was like, hey, thanks for being inspirational. I was like, cool, I can deal with that. But Brooks might have a more relatable circumstance if you can talk about it. You have a friend, I won't say his name, who got really big in NFTs, very popular.
Yeah.
And how did he deal? Can you speak generically about how he dealt with that, maybe?
I mean, he stepped up to the plate very organically. You know, it's kind of like the imposter syndrome thing. Like, you know, when you become successful, I feel like sometimes you don't know how to handle it because you don't feel like you deserve it. But it's like you became popular for a reason. And I'm actually looking at the trailer for your game. It's like a horror first-person shooter.
Yeah, I think there's an old show on Animal Planet I used to watch as a kid. It's called Finding Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid that I felt like the show is so stupid, but I wanted to make a game kind of based off that. So it's kind of thing. Finding Bigfoot show meets Lethal Company.
I love how he did like these old school, like almost GoldenEye graphics. It's super cool.
Wait, there's a trailer and I didn't voice it. I mean, can you actually call it a trailer if I haven't voiced it?
I don't know, but yeah, I like
That's
the
a really
style,
good
man. I like the style. It's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I could see why it's blowing up. I mean, the truth is that you made something unique and cool and like a really sweet piece of art. Like, I think video games, especially indie games, are a new form of pure art. And a lot of people just want authenticity these days, and they want real art that's not made by huge brands and that, people like you make. So I think you should just accept that you made something great and that a lot of people are going to like it, and, accept the love and, embrace it.
I give you one thing that you're going to encounter pretty fast, and I've encountered this every time I did something like cool. Like first time I wrote a novel, my first one that went #1 was Wish, and as soon as people read it, they're like, "Cool, when are you writing your next one?" I'm like, "Can you enjoy this one for a second?" And like it says the first time I had a video go 10 million views, like, "Great, what's your next one?" I'm like, this one's going to go 20. Can we give this one a second? Like, people are always wondering what you're going to do next. And you don't have, in this day and age, you don't get to revel in your past successes at all. So while this is blowing up, and while people are giving you the adulation and congratulations for it, really enjoy that. Take the time to enjoy the accomplishment, all the work that you've put into making this project, and then get ready for everybody going, what's the next thing? Because that will happen. And that's good. Point. And it's good. It's good that people want another thing. It means that they believe in you, they like you, they want more from you. But you know, I wish you all the best of this thing. I think it's really cool that something you created is blowing up, and to share your art and your style. I hope it continues to go well for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just the pressure I'm feeling from not being able to deliver what everybody wants. I think that's the part that's really stressing me out.
Yeah, and that can definitely get to you. Like my buddy I was talking about who made it big in NFTs, there was a ton of pressure on him, and he really took it upon himself to meet those people's expectations. And it definitely, like, you know, almost drove him crazy. But I would say, like, you know, you don't have to, it's your project, it's your art, it's your thing. I wouldn't let people's pressure, like, dictate how you feel about your life, or, you know, stress you out too much. Like, you're the artist here. People are going to pressure you to make more and do more and all that kind of stuff. But really, they have to wait for you. So, and
you don't have to meet, this is something I learned too, you don't have to meet every expectation. You know, when people were dropping comments on the book, and it was like, when's the next one, when's the next one, when's the next one, I went to bed going, oh my God, all these people want another book. Or, you know, like, if I do a video and they like, hey, that was great, but maybe next time do this, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I got to fix this, I got to do in the next video, I got to do it that way. But you know what it is, these people make the comment and then they go have lunch. And then they make a comment, and then they go talk to their
and they're not writing a book. You know,
and they're, you know, you see 100 comments a day, and it starts to get into your brain. Like, all these people are demanding and wanting. They're not. They had a comment, they dropped it, and then they forgot about it. And you need to put it in your brain that you can't let the comments or the expectations rule the rest of your life. You did something awesome the first time, and you're going to do it again, and you're going to do it at your pace. And if it doesn't meet every expectation, it's not the end of the world.
You know, I think that's exactly what I needed. And especially from the crew and you who've been through it all, that actually is very reassuring. Thank you.
Well, best of luck.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll download your game.
Yeah, it sounds like a really fun game.
Glad we could help a little bit. What time are we at now, Brooks? Are we at
2:13?
Okay, we'll take another 17 minutes of calls, thereabouts. I believe we're live on all platforms still, because Brooks has been tapping away on the TikTok screen. We're on TikTok, where I'm tiktok.com/Pete Gustin. I have a different username on every platform, which is like, they tell you not to do that. But I was bouncing between, you know, I'm Blind Surfer on YouTube, Pete Gustin on TikTok, Real Pete Gustin on Instagram, Blind Surfer Pete Gustin on Facebook, and wherever else we're on today. It's some combination of Blind Surfer and Pete Gustin. But wherever I am, wherever you're watching, I appreciate you guys supporting these videos, watching these videos, and talking to you has been just really enjoyable. And I'm glad that we were able to figure out a way to do these call-in shows and talk to people, as opposed to just read comments. Comments are great, but interactions are better. This is the Saturday show with Pete, Brooks, and Banana. Who's this? I hear you. Are you doing ASMR on me?
Hello?
Oh, it's Kid. Hey, what's going on?
Hello. I'm just going to say that I love your content, and what is your secret to making content even though you're blind?
My secret to making content is the story. I feel like, I know it's a visual medium, and I know that there's lots of videos out there that show people amazing things, and you'll see something on social media that you'll never see anywhere else, or you'll see a lot of women in particular outfits that might catch your eye. For me, I feel like it's the story. I feel like if you can tell a compelling story that starts off making you want to find out what happens at the end, that's the best way I could tell anyone to create content, is to create compelling stories. I think I answered it.
I think you answered it. Also, you're very animated with facial expressions and
which is
your
funny.
whole body, really.
True.
Yeah, so I think
you know, Josh told me that when the gym story blew up, and I was just sitting there, like, we were surfing, I was like, what was with that? like, why was that so engaging? He said the same thing. He's like, you bring people in with like how excited you are and your story, then the voice and the face, which is funny because I don't know what my face looks like when I tell stories. Do most people tell stories and they don't move their eyebrows or their eyeballs or anything like that?
I mean, everybody has a different personality, but I think you bring a lot of entertainment with the combination of the story and the animation.
That's because I enjoy it. I enjoy, people say, what should I do for a YouTube channel? I'm like, do something you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, people will see the passion. It's the Saturday Show. I'm Pete. This is Banana. That's Brooks. Who's this?
Hello. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
We got you.
Yep.
Alrighty. My name's Aiden. I've been watching your content for a little while, and I just think it's cool that I'm on this, but
taking a minute to reflect.
We think it's cool too.
That's awesome.
I just wanted to ask, how was it hard adapting after you started becoming blind?
To life in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It was funny. It was going pretty slow. Like I feel like when I was 8 years old and I was diagnosed, it was just kind of like, I got to sit closer to the chalkboard. Like that was the biggest compensation I had to make. And one of the hardest years of my life was when I was 16 and 16 and a half, when I should have been getting my permit and all of my friends were, and I was realizing I'd never be able to drive. That was very difficult. And as things went on and I felt like the progression got faster and worse, it was hard. I just had to get the right mindset, be surrounded by the right people. It's funny, I say these days I like being surrounded by the right people that are supportive and that are helpful and that love me and that root for me and that are here for me, like these two. But for a long time, I was surrounded by people that were not good for me. But I turned it and I was like, I'll prove these people wrong. I'll do this and I'll show them and I'll get this done. I'll accomplish that. And I was doing it despite those people. And it was good for the fact that I was building up a skill set and I was continuing to succeed, but it was taking a huge toll on my mental well-being, like feeling like it was me against the world and me needing to hide my disability. Like that was all very hard.
Do you ever get like social anxiety while like walking around like outside? Do you like feel like a bunch of people are looking at you, or do you just like not care?
I feel like most people are often looking at me mostly because I'm so handsome. And they just, when I walk by, they need to, put that in their memory banks and be like, that was a sexy man. But I feel like that's what I assume anyway. I'm not so worried about the people actually looking at me as I am not bumping into them. I think Banana could attest to the fact that I do have a lot of social anxiety going to places I've never been to before. It's just so hard to navigate. And I don't want to be, even, if you got a blind cane and it's obvious that you're blind and you walk into a restaurant and you kick a chair, you kick a table, no one's going to be like, what, is he drunk? Like, they know I'm blind, but I still don't want to do it. And it's still embarrassing. So there is a lot of social anxiety with encountering new circumstances, new places, and even new people. I mean, it's just a lot. There's so much information that gets transferred to you when you can see, and I don't get any of it. So I'm just operating on much less information than most people.
Well, that's pretty cool. I think that's all, but thank you, and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
Thank you for the call.
I'm glad you got through.
You got anything? We got about 10 minutes or so. We still got some calls.
10 minutes.
You got anything you want to address or bring up or talk about? Is Skylar still here? Mm-hmm. So the facial recognition software, it focuses on eyes. Have you noticed every once in a while, does the camera just go to her because she's got eyes?
She's been sleeping, so.
Oh, her eyes are closed?
Yeah.
We can take another call, but if you guys in the last 10 minutes, if either of you think of anything you'd like to address or talk about, we can definitely do that. It is the Saturday Show with Pete. Can people see the banana behind Banana, by the way?
Yes, yeah, they can.
Awesome. I hung that. I did that myself. It's the Saturday Show. Who's this?
Colin.
Colin?
Colin.
Colton, yeah.
Colton.
Colton.
There we go.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
no, there's a guy, Colin Powell. That's a name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
But it's Colton. Go ahead, Colton. What's up?
So, how was it being a voice actor?
Awesome. It's pretty fun to be able to bring people's stories and scripts to life. It's fun that they trust my voice to bring their product or their their promo or their movie or whatever it is to add my personality to it. It's a really enjoyable profession.
People get so excited. I get texts pretty regularly from like friends or whatever. They're like, P2, you know, the Padres, something, you know, whatever. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, I heard him.
It's a fun profession.
I always wondered how it was. How do they do that? Like, did they put you in the room or something?
Well, these days, I mean, everything was different. You know, back in the day when you used to have to go to studios and sit there with directors and producers and stuff. Now, about 15 feet almost directly in front of me is a soundproof box that I spend my entire day in.
It's a converted walk-in closet that he turned into a soundproof booth.
Yeah. So I get up in the morning and people send me scripts. Most of my clients at this point trust my interpretation, trust that I'm going to deliver what they have in their mind. So they just send the script and I read it and send it back. Every once in a while, if it's a really big project, like when I was working on the Optimus Prime voice, there'll be directors and producers and people telling me faster, slower, more, smile, not so much smile. You get direction, but most of the day, people are just, you know, they pay me for, and this is why AI voices are never going to be, I'll say never, not in my lifetime, going to be able to do what I do, because there's so much personality, so much of myself that I put into a voiceover. I remember when I was 18 and I was talking to a very well-established voice actor by the name of Chuck Riley, and he was jokingly, he said, "You're not going to be good at it yet because you don't have enough life experience." And I was like, what does life experience have to do with voice acting? And over time, I realized everything. Like the loss of Superdog still impacts some of the reads that when I really need to connect with the copy, that's something really sad, I'll draw on that emotion, or some of the happier times that I've had in my life, or just any experience that I've drawn on, I can put that in my voice and communicate that to someone. So I feel like I just get to put so much of myself into my voice acting that, I mean, can a robot mimic intonation? Could it maybe sound like me? I guess, but it's never going to be able to put the feeling behind it that I put into each piece of copy that I deliver.
Yeah, the emotion is where it's at.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I feel that.
Anything else going on?
Not really. I just wanted to know about your acting.
Well,
That's always intrigued me.
Thank you.
That you did acting.
Banana loves it when I talk about voice acting. When we first started blowing up on social media and people would recognize me for like, hey, you're the TikTok guy, hey, the
May
YouTube
have been
guy.
rude to a couple people.
Banana was like, he has a real job,
Yeah.
you know. He's a famous voice actor.
Yeah.
I remember the
I
kids.
get so aggravated.
Yeah, they were like I don't know. You said they were like teenagers in the parking lot of our favorite
I
restaurant,
know.
and they're like, "You're the Instagram guy," and you literally like, "He has a real job." And they're like, "Cool, scary lady."
I know. I apologize if you're listening.
We'll take a couple more calls here as we're hitting the home stretch.
Someone
of the
wrote a
Saturday
haiku
show.
about you in the
Oh,
chat. Dead
all right.
Frog Dising says, Peter, the sky is so blue. The sun is so warm up high. I like Peter. That's
Wait.
the haiku.
I like Peter. Isn't the last one supposed to be 5 syllables? Isn't it 5?
I like Peter. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I wasn't.
It's a modified haiku.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is completely right, and I don't know what I'm talking about. But it was a very nice haiku.
Yeah.
I very much appreciate the haiku. I in 6th grade, I won an award for writing a haiku about a butterfly that I wrote on a piece of cardboard that I colored like a butterfly. So I'm a big fan of the haiku. I had a haiku written about me, Banana. Are you jealous?
I'm keeping my mouth shut about this.
All right, whatever. It's the Saturday show. I'm Pete. Who's this?
Hi, my name is Jerome.
What is it?
One more time?
Yeah. Jerome.
Jerome. Okay, got it. How are you?
What's going on?
Is this Pete question?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Big fan. Yeah, I'm calling from Switzerland.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know, I've been mildly interested to know if our number worked internationally. Good to know it does.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the
I've
call.
been watching. Yeah, I've been watching for a while, and I have a couple questions to ask you.
Sure.
All right. First question. What's the blindness? Was it like first day, yeah, it's nothing, and the next day, oh, yeah.
It was I think
Or
he's
was-
asking about the progression of my blind. It was very, very slow.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed at the age of 8, started to get bad around 12, and continued to progress very, very, very slowly. I've always been, if I was going to have this disease, I'm glad that I was given time to adjust over the course of literally decades. It went pretty slow.
All right. And the blindness, is it like just black, or is it like you can see like light and stuff like that, or is it something else?
I do see light. I have a 5-minute video called "What Do Blind People See?" It's on my channel, and it'll actually take you through all the stages of my vision loss. And these days, it's very bright, almost painful. I try and do these videos. Honestly, out there, I'm more comfortable when I have the glasses on, because any degree of light that goes into my eyes just kind of gives me headaches, and I don't get anything out of it other than a big wash of color.
It's like a whiteout instead of a blackout.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still perceive light, but not in a comfortable way, and not in a way that helps me negotiate anything. It's just bright. But I actually,
right,
I'd rather have bright than dark, honestly.
He's got one more
Yeah,
question.
go ahead.
All right. And just a little question. How do you surf blind? Like, can you take me through it? Because I don't understand how.
That's another one. I appreciate the call all the way from Switzerland and your interest. It's another one. I've got videos. How does a blind guy surf? It's just a lot of practice. There's a lot of sounds out there in the ocean that wouldn't make sense to even really good surfers, but over time I've been able to put those, this sound means this is about to happen, and this feeling underneath the water means that a wave is about to come. It's taking all of the inputs and senses that I've still got and putting them to the best use that I can. That and just trying to be as fast as I can to react to every last minute thing that happens out there.
But also a lot of trust in his coaches that he goes out with.
Yes. By sounds, I mean also Brooks yelling, "Left, go, now."
Yeah.
That is a
Wait,
sound.
stop.
Wow.
Yeah. This is how unworldly I am. What language, what is your primary language?
Hard question, because I basically speak all languages, because like Switzerland is like a four language land. We have first we have German, but in like an accent we call Swiss German.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then we have French, and we have Retro-Romanisch. It is like a completely new language.
Oh, great. That's why we need more languages.
Yeah. And we have also Italian, but we primarily speak like Swiss German.
Oh, wow. Well, that is very interesting.
Did not know that, yeah.
Thank you. I think that's the first. We had it. Thank you so much for the call. We're going to be, we'll check the time in just a second.
It's 28. We got a super chat and a haiku for Banana.
Oh, now I'm not the only one who got a poem. I'm not special anymore. Let's hear Banana's haiku.
Okay, we'll start with Banana's haiku. It always takes 3 bananas to make my bread. Let them ripen, please.
Please. There we go. Let them ripen, please. See, that's 5.
Unfortunately, I am ripening.
Dog rising with that. And then a slimy dragon, a.k.a. Lauren, with her first super chat ever.
Wow.
YouTube has informed us.
Wow.
So
Very
thanks
cool.
for that. Says, in a past short, you said bright lights give you headaches, hence why you wear sunglasses. Does doing these streams hurt your eyes / give you headaches?
It does a little bit throughout the day, all day. Now that Banana's here throughout the days, you see me wearing the glasses all day. I don't like taking them off. It does give me a bit of a headache. I am aware that people out there in the world feel like they can feel a little more connected to a person when they can see their eyes. So for that reason, I like to let people look into the windows of my soul, if you want to put it that way. I also know that the software we're using keys in on eyes and facial recognition. So I also don't want to be talking for 5 minutes straight and having the thing focus on Brooks's face.
I want to see my face.
I mean, I'm sure you have a great face. I know Banana has a great face. I think Skylar has a very cute face, but I think the software will key in better. But I've always, It was the very first video I did when I had the glasses on my head. It's because I was wearing the glasses. I knew I was going to be on camera, so I flipped them up. I did my thing, and then I put them right back down so the headaches would stop. I do believe if I started wearing sunglasses, maybe my audience would be cool with it, but I also feel like they might be a little disengaged from me. I feel like eye contact is important to you sighted people, isn't it?
It is to me. It's a tough one because I do feel more connected to you sometimes when you're not wearing the glasses, but I also would never want you to be going through pain just so that I can feel more connected. You know what I mean?
And it is funny, like you feel more connected, even though I'm not actually seeing you.
I know, and I know that, but I just, the world we live in, I'm just kind of like brainwashed to think that, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, we're at 2:31.
All right. Let's see if I can get us some outro music here.
Thank you for everybody who called.
Hey, I know that song. Yes, thank you to everybody that called. This was the live call-in show. Don't kill us yet, Brooke. Just give me a second. Huge thank you to our sponsor, BetterHelp. Because of them, we've been bringing you these shows. Anybody who supports me in this channel, if you support my sponsor, that is a huge help to me. BetterHelp.com/Pete Gustin gives you a discount on your first month if you feel like you need therapy. And I feel like I've explained this really well. A lot of people out there suffering from a lot of things, having a lot of problems, mine being obvious, other people's maybe not so much, but talking really does help. If you feel like therapy is going to be a place for you to start exploring those options, then I highly suggest hitting up BetterHelp. And if you can't afford therapy, you don't want to do therapy, talk to someone that you love.
Yeah, I think everybody needs therapy.
I talked to someone I love and it helped me out a lot. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll be back for another one in the future. I don't know how to turn this thing off, so you're gonna see a little of the after show. Yeah, a little mic drop. Maybe Banana's butt as she's walking away. My butt.
Now I'm not gonna get up.
No, I'm not getting up.
Do you want me to?
There's a